Yeah, it loses its cartoonishness. It loses its, you know, perfection, as the mind puts it, its blurriness, its one dimensionality, its timelessness, meaning not having time, and that it's just free from all these notions of existing. I mean, one of the amazing things about dreams is that they don't exist. Um, it doesn't have those shackles. It doesn't have measurability. It doesn't have place. It doesn't have scope. It doesn't have understanding or analysis. That's what makes it so fun. I mean, sure, there's the immortality, there's the lack of physics, there's the lack of consequence or, responsibilities, but also it's that it doesn't need to fulfill any needs, and that's what makes it so beautiful, and that's distinct from reality. Reality necessarily is quantifiable. It necessarily is observable. And the experience of observing the physical universe is it's felt. I mean, it's it has an impact, and then we can analyze that impact and say, oh, it's wrong, oh, it's from this trauma, or oh, it's whatever it is. But it's like, regardless of it being an illusion, it's perceived, and the perception in the physical universe is unavoidable. There's no way to switch off perceiving. Um, Dreams lack that quality. Dreams can go, for a large part, unperceived. And perception in a dream is a choice, I feel. And it is a liberty that we are kind of like coming in and out of it as we choose. And we choose what we perceive, we choose what it means, we choose what it does. And there's really no difference between being and perceiving, because there's no distinction between us and the rest of the dream. And that is distinct from the way that we kind of frame our waking experience, or our waking existence, our waking godliness, even. Um, so, marrying those, finding a symbiosis, finding a unity, I just see it as futile, or I see that they can just be discreetly uh, embodied, or rather discreetly felt. You know, I feel dreams as I feel dreams. I feel reality as I feel reality, and they bring their own pros and cons. They bring their own ups and downs. They have their own attitudes. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this separation. I'm okay with the qualities of life and death not being the same. I don't need death to be life. Um, we can learn a lot about life from death, but we don't need life to be death. Death can be death, and life can be life. It's okay. It's not a flaw of a dream to not be real, and it's not a flaw of reality to not be dreamlike. They can be seen as tools to help understand each other, tools to help understand themselves. And we're tools to understand them, they're tools to understand us. As we all are one, uh, however, at different times, different pieces occupy the mind field, and there's a third world of self. It's transcendent of the two and wobbles between each, like a needle on a graph, and can kind of give or take what it wants. There's a freedom in actually choosing when we dream and when we wake up, choosing when we think and when we observe, maybe. Action. And it's nice to have all of them. It's nice to have different things. It's a gift, you know. It's a beauty to have other stuff. Um, it doesn't have to be seen religiously. It can just simply be, or theistically, it can be there's different stuff and it's good. That's scientific, spiritual, intuitive, perhaps. Um, I just had this thought coming to my mind. It's like, I want it to be real, not really. My musical project I've called It's Not Beautiful, It's Yours. Um, which I've also thought of as It's Not Beautiful, It's You. Um, and it's also like, it's not desired, it's desire. It's like, it's not wanting it to be here, it's here. Or it's not wanting it to be there, it's not wanting it to be here, it's there. Like, there is beautiful. There is here. Um, or like, there is received. Like, I receive it outside of my reach. Like, I accept the gift in someone else's uh, stocking, someone else's mailbox, you know. Um, and maybe there's other stuff to think about, you know. Maybe there's other stuff to think about. Like moving into a broader field, one that's more energetic, one that's more that's like just stuff of the universe, stuff that belongs to nobody, that nobody even wants. Like, who thinks about that? Like, just stuff that's not for anybody to take. It doesn't exist and nobody wants it to exist. Not because it's bad, not because it's bad, but just because it's just a thing, you know? Like, who wants the sky to be green, you know? It doesn't matter if the sky's green, but we're not campaigning for it. We're not putting our collective energy to wish for it, and maybe it doesn't really help us, you know? Can we see beyond, this? I feel like I'm speaking to like idiots now. It's uh, like I believe my audience sees beyond the idea of just everything, if it's like valuable or not valuable, or serves a function or not. But uh, it's like multiple skies, endless skies, endless stars. Stars on Earth, stars inside of everything. Functionless, very a function zones. It really releases a lot of tension for me to imagine that, like, to kind of like hallucinate what is not beneficial or detrimental to 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 any being. Like, I think it's a very healthful exercise to just perceive things that are not there and do not help anyone and do not hurt anyone, and to perceive as many of them as possible. Like lining the inside of atoms with just threads of, some other matter field that does not intersect with matter as we understand it. Um, it's kind of like, you know, pulling in other wavelengths of light, other, you know, other parts of our brain capacity that we don't see, you know, sounds outside of our range, and other senses, or like stuff that we don't have the senses to perceive. It's great to acknowledge all of it. It's very welcome. I mean, I welcome it and I enjoy its company. It's also like having multiple selves across this universe, and all of them. In every corner of the galaxy. To be everywhere. Maximize life as maximize options of non-essential strategies, like to not think about what can we do, but just think about all of the different present options, you know, just to put ourselves in different situations in the present, in different, you know, impossible present situations, is a great philosophy, great philosophy. To see yourselves all over the place, every place, all over the place. See every place in every place. And non-places in its place, to replace places with non-physical spaces, non-physical places in the place of physical places, and physical places out of place, out of space, but they stay. I like change. I like growth. Whatever. Like, what can we glean from this non existent slew of this abundance? Of Technicolor magic. Well, I guess just to have us touch us in the least ironicized way. To intimately touch the beyond. To taste the other parts, and to dance, hug, embrace, love, and surrender within reason. To not depart, to stay here, to allow them to pass. I just don't know how to interact with it. Like, as I get sleepier, it sucks me in. But I believe during the day it can stay over there. And at night it comes. I accept. Thank you.